Right.
But I think those boxes turned up sort of just before we opened.
So a
after
year
lockdown
after the
one.
actual Kickstarter, yeah.
And then this second box is from now, obviously.
I mean, you guys can't see this yet, but what I'm looking at the back here looks mental. There are lots of things in here. So this is the Sator box. I think it's Sator rather than Sator, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Sator box. And this has lots of minis, more tokens, more spells, more 11 schools of magic, 13 new runes, 27 new evocations. So let's start to pull these out. Sleeve. Ready tape before I start pulling on the cardboard. Oh, here we go.
I mean, it's not as pretty a box, but it's just got that sleeve, which is nice, but what's in it is more important.
So this is cool. This doesn't have a particular character on it. It's almost the colour that seems to signify what it is. So there's the seal on that. It looks like one that you just have to rip.
Looks like it's been heat sealed there.
Yeah. So some more character boards that look to be very much the same style as the last set. Oh,
Ooh, but there's a big
loves me.
cutout at the top there.
Yeah, so there was that on the other ones.
Oh, was there? I didn't
Yeah.
spot that on those.
But there was a picture of a character in
So
there.
again, a bit like Who Goes There.
Yeah.
The stuff we use from those guys.
I
I
just never
think
spotted
that
it on
card
yours.
marker that was the larger card is what
Ah,
I think.
yeah,
Now.
that makes
That's
sense.
my thinking behind it, but I might be wrong. The same marker counter system at the top. They all look to be very similar. Some more rules, so that would suggest this is probably all of the extra spells that come along with this. Really good artwork in there, so have a look at that. Ah, these are. I'll wait for a second. Some more counters. Look very similar, the style of the counters. There's a wheel to spin, so I'm sure we'll see some way of doing that on one of these shortly. And these, I believe, will be the characters that fit into the inlay.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
So there looks to be lots more characters that you can play than the last set.
That's almost like there's
Is there a difference between those two when you look at them?
No.
So I guess people can be the same character.
Or they've inadvertently given it to.
Or are they the skulls? The different skulls?
Oh no, there may be an issue with it because they came separate in the box.
Okay.
So I need to check it.
Fact. Yeah, one's a different size. So what's probably happened is they've
One's too
misprinted the
big.
size.
And it won't fit in
It's
the
either too big or too small.
Yeah.
They've remade it to make it fit. Which is brilliant that they've actually corrected the issue before. Yeah.
So this looks like a special character card. It's different to all of the other ones.
And it means you get spares if you lose or damage any, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It's like the tapeworm game, isn't it? Where you're doing a misprint.
Yeah.
That looks linked to that special card. It just looks like that's his character card, so that's definitely different. That looks almost futuristic, that one. Oh, hello.
Oh, that looks cool.
This.
I think Jacob's a bit excited.
Let's go for the smaller minis first and just follow my horses.
Just pass me that, just 1 second, just to show how they come in the box. That is just a fantastic way of them coming.
So yeah, as Sid mentioned before, they've gone with a different colour resin on the miniatures that are the playable characters. So you can see the kind of orangey coloured resin is the playable minis. So let's start there. That looks to be a bard type character, got a guitar in there, looks to be pointing at something. That's just one there. Oh wow, this little dude looks like someone who's doing Halloween. Looks like a kid in dress up. I think it's almost it could even be a leprechaun this. The broomstick, similar to a witch. There's a few more of the miniatures that were actually in the last set, so I guess that you can have more fights with larger numbers of enemies. There's some really different, interesting.
It's the Mickey Mouse
characters
ears.
in here.
It's Mickey Mouse from Fantasia.
It does look a bit like
A
it.
demon does Mickey Mouse from Fantasia. That's what it is.
There's what looks here to be a pirate magician with no face, and he has tied the steering wheel of the pirate ship to his back. This is a very interesting take on a magician. I've never seen one like that before. Because obviously all these characters are magicians, and one of us a member of each school.
Mage.
Yep.
Not magician.
Well, isn't that what a mage is?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a different word.
More of a classic warlock looking character here as well.
They're not playing card magicians, but they are. They do magic.
Imagine you just get like Dynamo or David Blaine as one of the characters.
That'd be quite cool. Or Matt. That's quite cool, that one.
So you were talking about Fantasia. I'll give you this mini without.
Yes, see, told you. That's quite funny as well, because there was one of our D&D campaigns. One of the players died by being killed by a enchanted broom. So this is by far.
Now this looks really cool. Considering the size of everything in here, this would have to be massive. This is a crown, but in the ratios of all of the other miniatures, it is huge. Really, it takes up more than the 32mm.
Is it maybe like a turn marker or something?
Nah, I think it'll be like a treasure that you've got to find and pick up. Is what I think. I might be wrong. It could be enchanted as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. So next I'm going to start picking up some of the enemies. This little dude looks harmless.
Oh yeah, but he's got that smile. The one
That
Hannah
smile.
has.
The one that you don't want to hear the music in the background for.
The one that you don't want your DM to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you know when there's like children, it's like singing.
It's that one where you turn around to us and go, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And we go, "Yeah, okay."
Oh, I like this miniature, and I might want to use this at some point. It's really cool. So it's like a little magician's hat with a cat holding it in its mouth. There's some enchanted blades here. There's there's some really cool ones. This looks like a mixture of something off Never-Ending Story mixed with Thanos.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that pretty well sums it up.
I was like, what does he mean? And the second I've seen it, I totally agree. So, if you look, it's like one of the rock people from Never-Ending Story. And then it's got sort of a Thanos feel to its...
By the way, having said that, Never-Ending Story, another one to be added for our Sunday pub quiz list. That's a classic.
Nah, I'm too emotionally scarred by that movie. I
Called
can't.
ATAX.
I don't even like horses.
Anything else that people really should see before I move on? Oh, these are cool. So these are like... what are they like? They look like something more Lovecraftian, this.
Okay. Oh yeah, massively Lovecraftian. If anyone's watched the show, it looks like the monsters in the first episode.
Well, I just meant because it's from Cthulhu World, because that's what Cthulhu's all based on, Lovecraft, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've not seen the programme. Is it
Well,
good?
Cthulhu's written by Lovecraft, yeah.
That's what I mean, but it's his world, everything's set in
Yeah.
the same world, isn't it? I'm definitely going to watch it though.
Fantastic.
Oh, this is cool. It's like
If you've never read
Pinocchio.
it, it's a really great book.
This is like Pinocchio as a bird angel.
Interesting.
So many conflicting...
Yeah. Slashed Punch from Punch and Judy as well, a little bit.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There's some
Do you know,
really
every time he says
interesting
something
bits.
like that, I sit there and think he is losing his mind. What is he talking about? And then he hands me the mini, and I don't know if you guys can see that at all, but it is probably by far the best direction. In fact, that could be my character in our D&D campaign,
It could be.
minus the weird pokey nose.
Yeah. Every time you lie, you stick someone's eye
And
out.
kill them.
Yeah. No, there's some really.
Every time you
interesting
roll a
bits
1,
in
your
there.
nose gets bigger.
Right.
Nice.
So this next tier is the next size up. So I'm ignoring the. Oh, there's loads. There's more underneath. There's some really, really.
Oh, look
cool
at the
bits.
excitement on his face.
That's what I'll grab that back if you want to pop that.
Like a child at Christmas.
If you want to put the lid on that so we don't lose any, I'll just pass that back to you. So
That's
pop
all
the lid on. Yeah. Cool, so let's take the next lid off. Oh wow, there are some really cool lids in this one. I mean the others were cool as well. Oh wow. Okay, let's start with this. This is like quite almost cyberpunky.
Okay.
It's got like a clock face on it and arms with barrels on, but there's like some kind of robotic feet. Pop in there. There's some really interesting stuff in there. I don't know if that's in the spot. We can move that underneath it. Oh yeah.
Can do. I'll just bring in an extra bit of kit. That I thought
Oh,
would be quite cool.
smart.
Good idea. We should have thought about that before.
Well, this is it.
We should have done.
This way it can do a sort of rotation.
See, we're learning. This is our first unboxing. We learn these things.
Now, I don't want to make a guess. There's like a tail or a group of tails on this, and I can't tell without looking into the character whether that's an effect for you to paint and look like they're maybe flying into the air, or whether these are like a tail that's actually attached or just part of the clothes that she's wearing. But this looks to be some kind of cat woman type fighter magician with like, if I was going to guess a name, maybe like Cat of Nine Tails idea. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to second guess. There's not 9, but I'm just trying to think about where that come from.
Oh, she is quite feline.
Yeah. Almost Egyptian. That
Yeah.
kind of. I think the Skeletor here. That's definitely going in. I've just seen, considering how mad some of these are, but I've just seen what I think is potentially the maddest one.
Oh yeah, literally.
Literally Skeletor, and that couldn't be more Skeletor if it tried. So, I've seen a few ideas of this where there's the house with legs. However, this house has one leg, and someone's riding it. And she looks like she's also playing cards, but I wonder where the table is. There's actually 2 of those feline ladies with the what I think are tails. This one has a big kind of Japanese feel to this one, Chinese or definitely Oriental, but in fact I'm actually thinking Big Trouble in Little China, the face on the guy riding this lion. I think it's a lion. Oh, there's a dragon head on it though. That is very, very cool. You'll know who I mean. You know, is it Ming? What's his name?
Ming.
Off Big
Chow
Trouble in
Pan.
Little China. Chow Ming. Ming.
Ming the Merciless.
Yeah, that's
this
exactly what I was
yeah.
thinking. I won't be surprised though if there is something along those lines in here.
But this, well, no, we've had the. Low pan.
Low pan.
Low
That's
pan.
exactly
It took me
it.
a while, I got it.
This looks to be quite a almost Nurgle-y construct, but it also seems to have some kind of crystallization on it as well. I love that. I love how out of the box or outside the box some of these are. If you put that one on.
Yeah. So the that one was a weird one because it kind of has sort of like a lion feel to it, but it is definitely a sort of Oriental dragon.
Yeah.
Look.
Nothing's very like you don't look at it and go, oh, they've copied this, but you can see where they've got a lot of their inspiration from.
Yeah.
I'm going to put these two up together. So this is like a bit of a demon with a huge grey. Oh, I was going to say axe. So looking at that, would you say that's an axe? Yeah.
Possibly.
Possibly.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know what implement this is. You can tell me when I pass it over. And then the other one.
I don't know what it's called though, but I've seen it.
Never seen that before.
I have seen it on.
Again, it's an Oriental weapon.
Yeah, have you ever watched that Forged in Fire?
Yeah.
They've made it on there before.
Oh, really?
But I can't remember what it was called.
I don't know what that's called, so.
No one knows what it's called. They all died. It's insane.
It's like a blunt force weapon and finesse at the same time. Cool, so got 2 large minis left in this tray. I'm guessing, looking at the size of this compared to other things, that this is some kind of giant, and he's got like a small hammer that's on fire, and then a massive hammer, and an axe. Just tucked onto his back. I mean, the guy is massive.
He's a good guy as well.
Looks like Aztecian almost.
And he's more Norse.
Nice.
This literally is a devil. It's got the horns and all those kind of muscles out, but then it's got the hooves. Very Greek looking, almost Minotaur-like, lifting up some battlement. Yeah, and it looks like it's got some homemade armour that may be made of wood. I'm saying armour, but yeah. Strange leather skirt on. 2 of those as well. 2 of those.
We have to rejig the angle on this one now. We'll just do who's holding up a piece of turret?
I have to say that the kind of plastic that these have come in is really good. Like they clip in, but it's the base that clips in. You're not putting any pressure on the side sometimes, especially with all the fiddly bits. I think you end up breaking them, don't you? So
it does look like they've thought a lot about everything.
yeah. Right. Don't want to do that one yet.
You do.
I do.
But you want to
say
save that till last.
Pop that there. Save that till the end. So in here, this is a very similar shaped tray to what we've just been dealing with, but we've also got cards from this expansion. This is quite heavy, and all the weight is in the cards. So, to show you,
Wow.
that's just some of the cards. And this is all the expansions and extra options that come with this final expansion. This is the final expansion, isn't it?
I think so.
You thought the second one was?
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought the Corona Box was the final expansion. So
The Corona Box.
Corona.
Yeah, I thought you said Corona. I was like, oh.
No, Corona Box. It's a different one. And yeah, no.
So yeah, some more of these cards, which I guess, seen a few of these, and I guess these change the game a lot. I think that's a big part of these expansions. Oh. More rooms, again, all very different, but along the same artistic lines. Yeah, the cards are very pretty. Got a bit of terrain, so there's 9 chests, and I don't know if that's because there's going to be some chests in every room, or there's going to be some puzzles, But if I ever saw a chest that looks like it was going to be a mimic, that is it.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Hey, that's my bit. You got the cards and everything.
Okay, so that's that one done. That's the lid in that one. Oh, cool. I didn't realise what this was until I turned it around. I thought she just had a long neck. This is like a geisha serpent.
Interesting.
Kind of like that thing in the Lovecraft one.
Yeah.
There's two of those. And some more kind of new. Oh, wow. So, this is like a centaur, except instead of being half man, half horse, it looks like it's half pig, half orc. And there are 1, 2, 3 of these. Wow.
It's a cool sounding design choice.
That belly button is mental. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna. There's no point in describing any more of that.
Wow, okay, yeah. That is super weird.
Holy Jesus. What's that program called? It's just gone out of my head. It's not Labyrinth, but you know the Jim Henson puppets that they're using?
Dark Crystal.
Dark Crystal. This looks like a mixture of that and a turtle. And there are two of them. Its face is really freaky. Like Kermit the Frog on steroids. Like, in fact, if you took the shell off, it would be like a troll from D&D.
Yeah.
This is mental.
Oh, okay.
Oh, cool. So anyone who watched last week will have seen us playing the Assassin's Creed game, which we got actually a slight rule.
Major rule.
Basically changed the game completely, but that's a game I'd like to replay with the correct rules.
Yeah.
This is the only one I would say is a blatant rip-off and is definitely the original Assassin's Creed. It's got the hidden blade, it's got the sword, it's got the garments, it's got the hood.
So it's
It's
just
got,
Ezio.
it's literally Ezio. Yeah, absolutely. But it looks cool. Interestingly on this one, so I've looked at a lot of the other enemies and they all seem to have the 3 holes in to mark something out. As I say, we're not sure on the rules of the game just yet until we've played it. This one only has the 1. So
A couple of them have had one so far.
have they?
It's
That's
like the
not
broom.
spotted.
The broom had a 1.
But I mean, if ever there's a rip-off of a character from something else, that is definitely Ezio. And this one looks like someone else Street Fighter. What's the guy that's green? It's just got my head.
Blanca.
Blanca.
Yeah.
This is Blanca with a tail, basically.
I can never recall so. Like, I knew that, but I can never
Except
recall
this
that.
Blanca has a face coming out of his rib cage.
Cool.
What?
Wow. And also his
As
face
you
is
do.
slightly different, but other than that, it's Blanca.
Oh, yeah.
These
I used to
these
hate Blanca.
miniatures
My
are
brother
amazing.
always played Blanca, and he just did the. When we were kids, this was on the SNES, and he was
Oh, he's got like arms coming out of his arms.
curling up doing
Yeah.
the electric thing, and you just couldn't get him. He used to beat me just doing that.
I
constantly.
used to use
Oh, it has
the
got that
Indian
one really
yoga guy.
weird arm coming out, hasn't it?
What?
The Indian yoga guy.
It's just got one,
Oh,
so it's got
yeah.
big muscly Blanca arms and then a random human arm just sticking out
Oh,
of
yeah.
one arm, not even both,
Yeah, he looks
just one.
It
What
looks
the
something like
hell?
I'd say it's probably like a soul eater or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, that looks like a blend of things. And there's 3 of those, so
Well,
that's
there's-
going to be an interesting fight.
I don't know whether to worry about the designer of these. What goes on in their head? Or
Coming
just
from
be
music, that's quite
massively impressed. No, the thing is with me is nothing goes on in my head.
Oh, wow.
it becomes empty.
So we've also got what looks like another demon, could be, again along the Minotaur lines, it's got cool helmet with horns. I can't tell if they're attached or part of the helmet. And literally, its weapons are 2 massive logs on chains. So
beefy
he's
nunchucks.
spinning some beefy wood nunchucks, yeah. That's cool. It's like a massive orc. He's actually got the hat like Asterix from Asterix and Obelix.
Oh, one of the Romans.
Yeah, but the winged. He's got the wings on the hat. Has Blanca been in?
Yeah.
And then there's 1 mini left from this tray before I can get. Oh.
See, he's only got
wow.
1 as well, though.
Only got 1. Yeah. I wonder what. I really want to play this game now.
Because I would say that he looks badasser. Like, it made sense on the broom. When I saw that
Yeah,
on
but then
broom,
the assassin you'd think would be quite thinner. I think it's going to be to do with spells and being magic,
Yeah.
and I'll have like 1 slot type. Because that weird turtle Kermit thing had 3.
Yeah.
I feel like you need to take the rule books home and have a bit of bedtime reading, Jane.
Yeah. I mean, that might affect your game, your D&D game on Thursday, though, if I was to do that.
Good point.
We'll give it to him on Thursday night.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is a creature very similar but different weapons. He's got the big ass sword. And I'm talking massive.
Oh, yeah. The sword's almost as big as he is.
Yeah.
In fact, it might actually be ever so slightly bigger than him.
It's stuck in the ground quite a way, I think.
Yeah.
And then we have the last package. Of which
Oh, your
2
face.
miniatures in there. Oh, wow. Oh, what even is that?
If you like, Jem, I'll let you paint any of this that you want to. For free. I won't even charge you for the pleasure.
He'll even let you use his paints.
Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Wow. Let's not go straight back in the box. Actually.
Oh, easy, Tiger. You're going to lose it. Do you want this one back?
Yeah, I'll put this in there first. I'm actually really impressed with the kind of the extremities where there's like a pointy bit or a dangly bit. They're quite substantial, like they don't feel really fragile like some miniatures. I noticed on a few there is a bit of flex in there as well, so it's not a really brittle resin compound.
Yeah, I think they've been resin mold, sort of injection mold resin.
Yeah. So what's in it?
Very, very, very high quality.
So this, I don't know how to describe this one. I feel like I've done a good job on the others, but it's like a fallen angel, but also mixed with, you know, when there was Bad Hulk in the one of the recent Hulk films. What was he called? It was like dark green.
Abomination.
Abomination. It's like a mixture of the two, or even Rhino.
Come on, Sid.
Even Rhino actually,
Yeah.
similar to that.
I know I'm on Marvel, but it's late and
Like you knew Wolverine yesterday.
oh, that really annoyed me.
Just not the specific questions that we got.
I thought I knew a lot about Wolverine. Apparently, I know nothing.
They were the first 10 questions as well, so they were like the easiest.
So, I mentioned Tyranids earlier. This is basically a mixture of a Dracolich, or a Dracolith, I'm not sure which way around it is, mixed with Tyranids. Very similar to Tyranids, the legs and arms, but then skeletal dragon body and wings.
That would go beautifully with our new skeletal dice tower. Skeletal dragon dice tower.
Again, though,
That'd be
they've
amazing.
kept on every single one of the bases this kind of motif of the vines and flowers from the Black Rose kind of theme, which, I mean, that just ties all the minis up together. It looks like it's going to be really a lot of fun to paint.
We've got several of them in the Beastie box, or what is it called? Beastery. The STL5s.
Oh yeah.
Well, I always say wrong.
Yeah, let's not say the wrong one on this screen. And that is pretty much everything. I mean, I say there's loads there. I think you're right. I think it's one of those we need to read in private, the rulebook. I think it's going to be involved, but it looks a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to play that.
And we've got a few other Kickstarters.
It doesn't look, just looking at what you get, it doesn't look overly complicated.
Yeah.
But
that
it
character
also
sheet
looks
looks like it's been made to be user friendly.
Yeah, it also looks quite involved at the same time, but it does look like a UX designer for a website has come up with a lot of this.
Do you
get what I mean?
Yeah, I do know
So
what you mean.
it's almost like if it was a computer game, the user interface is beautiful.
Yeah. And I think that the designers on this have done a really good job. They've kept a theme, but they've not been bound by it in any way. I mean, you just have to look at some of those miniatures and some of the different aspects of the characters, like boards and call it. I mean, it looks like a spinning counter.
Yeah,
I haven't worked out or seen how
it's
that
odd because
fits
it's
in.
got a hole in it, and then it's got pluses and minus numbers, and then there's a rose next to it though with a hole on it. So it actually looks. Ah, I see.
Do they
It
fit
looks like
together?
almost like a. You know when you play? Have you ever played X-Wing?
Yeah.
You know the thing that you turn to.
Yeah.
Because it's got a little cutout there,
Oh right, yeah.
which is about the size of the number. So I reckon you attach them. Although
Do you want to drag him back?
Yeah. We'll have to put it away. Sadly, that is cool.
Is that
And
gonna
again,
go, is that gonna
a
go
lot of
missing?
a lot of these models though, when you see something like this, they're quite fragile. These aren't. I mean, I'm not saying chuck them around, but
Yeah.
it's substantial. It's
It
it.
feels strong,
Yeah.
but also
I wouldn't be worried
have
about
a little bit of flexing
painting
to
it, yeah. I might not let my 2-year-old near it.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Now I've got a question: how does that go back in? Might be here a while. Oh, I think it's.
Do you want me to work that out and you do the sign off?
Smiler just ran away, but I feel like Smiler should do the smile off. I feel like Smiler should do the sign off because he'll have an idea of other Kickstarters that we either have or have coming in. And
So, I mean, I don't know. Everything's still quite hit and miss with everything coming in. It is sort of one of those things. But I think next week we'll do. Is it Moontakers?
Moonrakers.
Moonrakers. Do Moonrakers. That's a really nice game. Although I guess we could probably play that one. One that's good for models is that Fantasy Brawl we played.
Oh yeah,
that's really
Fantasy
good
Brawl.
and it's a simple little game for playing. You've got
I haven't
hate
played
that you
that
can do.
Fantasy Brawl, what style is it?
It's just there.
If you look just on the
top
top there,
left.
you can see it. But yeah, it's,
Oh yeah.
I think we should definitely have a look at Hate as well. There's some great minis in there. Joan of Arc.
Hellboy.
Something's gone wrong. Eh?
Just so many. I mean, we've got 300 and not including expansions, 300 and some games.
Yeah, and
last
then we've got
count.
quite a lot of expansions as well. Yeah, so when it comes to like the Kickstarters and stuff like that, me and JM especially are terrible for going all in on everything. If we're going to get something, we do go all in, and I genuinely feel bad when I don't get to kickstart something. So we do sort of. I mean, I like to think we do sort of think through what we're getting, and when we are going an all in, we get good stuff. Like, for example, that last thing was just ridiculous. A cool little model, stuff like that. Absolutely useful. If I'm quite happy to let JM any of that he wants for no charge. We can get. I think we're big now, sort of go around and so I know good thoughts. I get back really good and how put I said viewer yeah, we're gonna what we do is we because they're both fantasy, so we play
Play time 4, which is about hour and option.
so basically I'm just like that. Do tend to get actually munching zombies and stuff like that, so it's out of the each online.
Yeah,
we'll play Yeah, we started how, so yeah,
So we've got Dan Junior house one week.
I've got to use what you can into it.
You never get 10 over it.
There's lots of chicken.
I missed these. I can't just do with it. But yeah, so Thursday is the session where the lads are doing halfway there, and and then Sunday is the quiz as usual. Say quiz. There's 50 questions, any quiz, various categories and like that. No more Supernatural for a while. You know what it is, we're not out there saying how you guys want it.
90% of the players yesterday didn't want the match.
Well, that's not true. It's
95%.
it was only 3% actually.